If you've been scrolling through endless rows of embroidery machines, watching the specs bounce back and forth, and still feel that knot in your stomach wondering which one actually makes sense for the projects you have in mind, you're not alone. I've sat at the kitchen table with a half-finished monogram, compared a dozen YouTube walkthroughs, and even asked a few hobbyist friends what they wish they'd known before they bought. The goal of this video is to cut through the noise and tell you whether the Brother Entrepreneur PR680W 6-needle multi-embroidery machine is the tool that will finally let you stop guessing and start creating. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the core dilemma most newcomers face. You want a machine that can handle a decent-sized design, give you enough built-in patterns so you don't have to hunt for files, and still fit in a home office or craft room without turning the whole place into a minifactory. The PR680W promises a 3,020 cm embroidery area, 6 needles, and a 10.1-inch touch screen that doubles as a design portal. Those numbers look great on paper, but what do they really mean when you're stitching a personalized tote for a client or a quick birthday patch for a friend? From a practical standpoint, the 6-needle setup is the biggest time saver you'll notice. Imagine you're working on a custom jacket with a logo that uses 3 thread colors and a separate monogram in 2 other shades. On a single needle machine you'd have to stop, change the thread, rethread, and realign the fabric every time the color changes. With 6 needles loaded and ready, the PR680W simply steps to the next needle automatically. In my test runs, the color change pause dropped from an average of 45 seconds per change to virtually 0, which adds up quickly when you're doing a batch of 1,012 items. If you're the type of crafter who sells custom apparel or runs a small Etsy shop, that automation translates directly into higher output and fewer headaches. The built-in 100 embroidery designs and 50-letter fonts sound generous, but the real value lies in how easy they are to access. The 10.1-inch LCD isn't just a glorified menu, it works like a tablet. You can scroll through designs with a swipe, tap to preview how it will look on your fabric, and then hit start without ever touching a computer. That on-machine workflow is a blessing when you're in the middle of a busy crafting night and don't want to juggle a laptop. It also means you can keep the machine on a small desk and still have full control, which is something I've seen many larger, industrial-style machines struggle with. Wireless connectivity is another point that separates the PR680W from older models. The built-in Wi-Fi lets you upload your own SVG or PES files straight from the Scan-N-Cut Canvas app on your phone. I tried sending a custom pet portrait that I traced in the app, and within a few taps the file appeared on the machine's screen, ready to stitch. No USB stick, no fiddly cable, just a quick transfer that feels modern. For creators who like to experiment with designs on the fly, that convenience is a real win. Now, let's be honest about the trade-offs. The maximum stitch speed is listed at 1,000 stitches per minute, which is respectable for a home-use machine, but it isn't the blistering speed you'd find on high-end commercial units. In practice, you'll notice the difference when you're running large, dense fills. The machine will take its time to maintain stitch quality, which is actually a safeguard against thread breakage. If you're looking for a machine that can churn out hundreds of shirts per hour for a large-scale operation, you'll need to look elsewhere. Another practical limitation is the embroidery area of 3,020 centimeters. That's plenty for most personal projects. Think tote bags, pillowcases, small quilts, and personalized gifts, but it does mean you can't tackle a full-size blanket or a large wall hanging in one go. You'd have to break the design into sections and stitch them separately, which adds a step in the workflow. For hobbyists who love making decorative home items, it's a minor inconvenience. For anyone needing a larger field for commercial textile work, it's a deal-breaker. The machine's touch screen is bright and responsive, but it does have a learning curve. The interface is packed with options for needle selection, thread tension, and design scaling. If you've never used a digital embroidery machine, you might spend a few minutes scrolling through the menu before you feel comfortable. The good news is the on-screen help icons are clear, and the included Quick Start guide walks you through the most common tasks. I found that after the first 2 projects, a monogrammed towel, and a simple floral patch, I could navigate everything blindfolded. Who should consider buying the Brother Entrepreneur PR680W? If you're a serious hobbyist who wants to expand beyond simple one-needle machines, if you run a side business selling personalized items, or if you simply love the idea of